Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into a coin that nearly every collector has seen, but very few understand properly, the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary 25-cent coin, something you might find in your pocket, your drawer, or mixed with everyday change. But when you look closely at its history, metal content, production, condition, grading, errors, survival rate, and today's real market value, you realize that this coin holds an entire chapter of American coinage history inside it. To understand the 1965 quarter, you need to know that it marks a major turning point in U.S. coin production. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. Silver prices were rising, people were hoarding coins, and the government was facing a massive shortage of change in circulation. Because of this, in 1965 the metal composition changed completely. The U.S. Mint removed silver from the quarter and replaced it with a copper-nickel clad composition. The 1965 quarter was the very first year of this new clad material. Another important detail is that 1965, 1966, and 1967 quarters were all struck without any mint mark. Normally you would see a small P, D, or S on the coin to show where it was minted. But during these years, mint marks were deliberately removed. This policy was used to discourage people from hoarding coins based on where they came from. So when you see a 1965 quarter with no mint mark, it does not mean it is rare by default. It simply means it belongs to the no mint mark period. Now let's talk about production. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1965. They were made in such large quantities that even today, many remain in circulation. That is why most 1965 quarters found in pocket change are common and heavily circulated. When a coin is circulated, it shows where on Washington's hair, cheek, jawline, the lettering, the date, and the eagle on the reverse. Most circulated 1965 quarters hold face value or slightly more than face value. The condition of a coin plays the biggest role in determining its value. If your 1965 quarter is worn, scratched, or dull, its value stays around 25 cents to maybe a bit under $1. But when a coin is uncirculated, meaning it never entered normal circulation and still has its mint luster, it becomes more desirable to collectors. Grading scales such as Mississippi 60, Mississippi 62, Mississippi 63, Mississippi 64, and MS 65 are used to determine how perfect an uncirculated coin is. An MS 60 grade means the coin is uncirculated but has marks or dull spots. An MS 63 coin looks sharper and more attractive. MS 65 means the coin has strong luster, clean surfaces, and a better strike. Higher grade coins obviously bring higher demand. A basic uncirculated 1965 quarter might sell for around $1. A nicer example around MS 62 or MS 63 might reach a few dollars. When you get to MS 64 or MS 65, the coin becomes more collectible and more valuable. Truly high-grade examples, especially certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can reach much higher values depending on the market. Exceptional 1 in a million pieces can sell for significant premiums. Now let's talk about errors. Errors are mistakes that happen during the minting process, and they can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable one. Some 1965 quarters have off-center strikes, meaning part of the design is missing because the coin was not aligned properly during striking. Others may have doubled die features, which create a doubled appearance on the lettering or date. There are also planchet errors, where the metal blank is flawed before striking. Some error coins can sell for tens or hundreds of dollars depending on severity, uniqueness, and demand. One of the most interesting topics related to the 1965 quarter is the small number of coins that may have been accidentally struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. Because the mint was transitioning from silver to clad, a few silver planchets might have remained in the machinery. If a 1965 dated quarter is found on a silver planchet, it is extremely rare and worth a large premium. These coins must be authenticated by experts, because many people mistake normal coins for silver simply because they look shiny. The easiest way to check is to look at the edge. A clad quarter has a copper layer exposed on the edge. A silver planchet quarter has a pure silver-colored edge. But final confirmation always comes from professional grading and testing. Now, let's understand how collectors evaluate their coins. The first step is to check the condition. Look at the portrait of Washington. If the hair is flat, the cheek is worn, and the eagle's feathers are smooth, then the coin is circulated. If the surfaces shine, the luster is strong, and details are sharp, it might be uncirculated. Next step is to look for any unique errors. Use a magnifying glass and check the date, the lettering, the eagle's wings, and the coin's edge. Any unusual doubling, misalignment, cracks, or clipped edges can indicate an error coin. Another important factor is cleaning. A cleaned coin loses value, even if it looks shiny. Collectors prefer natural surfaces, so never clean a coin if you want to preserve its value. Now let's break down the realistic value of the 1965 quarter today in the US coin market. A normal circulated coin typically stays around face value. Slightly better condition pieces might go close to $50 or a little more. Basic uncirculated coins can bring around $1. Mid-grade uncirculated coins may reach $3 to $7 depending on appearance. Higher grade pieces, especially MS65 and above, can go $10 or more. Rare high-grade examples certified by top grading agencies can climb significantly higher. Unique error coins, depending on the type and severity, may bring tens, hundreds, or even more. It's important to remember that this coin is not rare in the normal sense. Its value comes from condition, grading, and errors. For collectors wanting to sell, certification matters a lot. Coins that are graded and encapsulated attract higher offers because buyers trust the authenticity and the condition. Another thing collectors enjoy is examining the history behind the coin. The 1965 quarter represents a moment when the U.S. Mint changed the composition of coins to adapt to economic pressures. It symbolizes a shift from silver coinage to modern clad coinage. Because of this historical context, many collectors keep at least one high-quality example in their collection. As we approach the end of this long exploration, let's recap in a simple way. The 1965 quarter without a mint mark is common, abundant, and usually worth face value if circulated. It becomes interesting only when it is uncirculated, graded highly, or has special mint errors. Exceptional specimens can bring higher prices. Rare silver planchet mistakes are extremely valuable. The best way to know your coin's worth is to examine its condition, check for errors, compare with grading standards, and consult professional grading services if you believe your coin has premium potential. Thank you for staying through this deep and detailed journey into the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter. If you enjoy long educational videos about coin values, rare finds, numismatic history, and market trends, make sure you subscribe, comment, and share your own coin stories. Every coin has a story, and I hope today's story helps you understand the true value behind your 1965 quarter.